Hello everyone, welcome back to the next part of our walkthrough. We're picking up immediately where we left off with reassuring the masses. The manager of Suite seems surprised to see you up and about. Oh miss, you're awake! You were injured during the foray on Mount Glug, yes? I was here at my station, as always, when they carried you in on a makeshift stretcher looking disturbingly bereft of vigor. And to compound my worry, the sky has, well, I'm sure you've seen. It has everyone rather concerned, to say the least. Seeing you up and about is the first good news we've had in a while. Assuming you feel strong enough, would you mayhap consider a stroll around the city to reassure the anxious citizens? Braggy was one of those who helped convey you to your chambers, and he has visited several times since to inquire after your condition. Aw, that's sweet of him. Well, at least now we know how we got back here, so they brought us back, and I have no idea where else they would be right now. I'm still kind of at a loss to what's happening here, or rather what's happened since we've been out. I mean, how long have we been out? Because from what I'm hearing so far from both him and Ardbert, we've been out for a while. Hello, Braggy. Well, look who's back from the dead. Aye, it was a grim sight. Your companions looked fair ready to drop when they brought you in, so I offered a helping hand. Couldn't bear to see them struggle so. And you, my friend, I feared you had one foot in the grave. Cold and lifeless you were, like a corpse that was somehow still breathing. Then they told me some evil bastard went and snatched our poor Exarch away in the midst of the chaos. Wicked white, what is this world coming to? Bah, but moaning never solved a thing, did it? Nay, it's times like these that we Crystarium folk stand tall and do what needs to be done. Trade with Uemura is back on the table. We best make use of those resources to fortify the city against the Eaters, or whatever misery the fates deem fit to throw at us next. Speaking of misery, Chesamil was worried sick about you. A healer wringing our hands is not a sight you ever wish to see, let me tell you. Okay, so it sounds like we were in bad shape. For some reason, that gets me excited. I don't know. I guess it's just a little bit nice to see us actually deal with the consequences with our actions. Be like, we're not invincible. This is proof here. We get our butt kicked. I mean, technically we won that fight, but still. So nice to see so many people care, though. Oh, sweetie, you're alive! No one's been allowed to see you. Even Spygriad's Chirurgeons were forbidden from making visits. Rain was kind enough to tell me you were showing symptoms similar to Eater corruption, so I suppose there was little any of us could have done for you in any case. As for your companions, they've been rushing hither and yon, seeking a cure to your condition. I worry to see their faces grow ever more haggard every time they pass through the Crystarium. I shall let them know you're awake, and when they come to see you, sweetie, please do convince them to rest a bit. They won't be helping anyone if they all collapse of exhaustion. Ah, and our old Morin has been little better, I'm afraid. He hasn't left the cabinet, too busy with his nose buried in one dusty tome or another. Okay, so they've all been looking for a way to save us then. That's good to know, and that explains why they weren't here at our bedside when we finally woke up. But let's head to the cabinet and speak with Morin. It is sweet of him to worry, though. So, can somebody please tell us exactly how long we've been out? I really want to know. I think I took the long way to get to an Aetherite shard. Here we go. Cabinet of Curiosity. Confound it, this says the same thing as the last. Maybe I should approach the problem from a different perspective. Claire! Is it truly you and not some figment of my imagination? Oh, but this is wonderful! It would seem our prayers have been answered. Feeling otherwise helpless, I've been scouring our shelves for the wisdom to explain this most worrisome conundrum. Why, with all the light wardens defeated, has the light returned to obscure the sky? I must have pored over 100 tomes, but no definite conclusion seems forthcoming. So many questions I would pose to the Exarch, and thus do I feel his absence all more keenly. Now that you are awake, however, I am hopeful the search for our stolen steward might begin in earnest. Catelys, meanwhile, leads the Crystarian Mean in preparations for battle, though against what foe we are yet uncertain. Why not pay her a visit? I expect seeing you upright would be a much welcome relief. Yeah, so it really does look like nobody else knows. I mean, I'm not entirely sure what they would do if they knew the whole truth, that we are technically a Light Warden now, the only Light Warden left. We'll head over to... where was it? Still get lost around here sometimes. We'll head over to the launch. I think that's the closest one. Okay, I think I'm lost. Hold on. Okay, I found my way. Took me a while, but I got there. Claire, alive and well, I see. You gave us all a proper fright, you know that? Not a day's gone by that I haven't heard folk worrying about what's to become of you or the Exarch. Anyway, I'm glad you've recovered enough to stand. You're not planning on striking out straight away, though, are you? I was hoping to have a better look at your equipment. If we'd been able to provide you with better weapons or sturdier helms, then maybe you would have won the day, and the Exarch would still be here. As such, we've been keeping busy consulting each other on new forging techniques and designs and the like. If you could stand still a moment, I'd like to assess the gear we're trying to improve. Oh, does this mean we're going to get some new armor? That'd be nice. Aye, well, that's some fine work, I must admit. It wouldn't be impossible to make something better, but we'll need equipment with different patterns and materials. I'm not sure we have that kind of time. That sounds like a challenge that he would enjoy. Greetings, Glenard. The Master of the Stairs is running his own errands now, is he? Aye, well, my servers are distraught enough as it is, and I didn't want to crack the whip too hard. But never mind that. I'm thinking our absent genius and his infinities are the perfect answer to this predicament of yours. And by genius, you mean old Gridalt? He is a man of unrivaled gifts, I won't argue with you there. Oh no. Why does this sound familiar? But what good does his talent do for us if we can't bloody find him? No one's seen hide or hair of old Geralt since he wandered off some years ago. You know what he's like once he latches onto an idea. He's probably cloistered himself in some forgotten cave, completely absorbed in his latest creation. I wouldn't even know where to start looking. That does make things difficult. Still, if that eccentric is somewhere you're destined to meet, I wager he'll show you up soon enough. In my time at the bar, many's the tale I've heard told of strangely fated encounters. Even in a few of them might be stretching the truth just a bit. We'll keep our noses to the grindstone for the time being, but on the off chance you do encounter Geralta, you'd be wise to take advantage of his brilliance rather than wait on our slow and steady progress. This is all the talk for when you're fully recovered, of course. I'll let you get back to convalescing, eh? Before you do that, you're actually the reason I came over here in the first place. I don't suggest partaking of my stock until you're properly well, but if you're passing near the stairs, then I have a few regulars I'd like to introduce you to. Okay, that's strange. I best be getting back. Just because the world's coming apart at the seams doesn't mean we have to follow suit now, does it? Hear, hear. We can't forget the heart upon which the city was founded, or the Exarchs might not have much of a home to return to. Oh, she looks so sad. So what do we do now? In his garden, Catelyn looks at you with a concerned eye. Claire, are you all right? I think a return to your sickbed might be in order. Or you might consider resting a while atop the watchtower next to the rookery. This damnable sky doesn't make for the most soothing scenery, but the Exarch often like to stand there and feel the wind upon his face. Okay, might as well go give it a try. So, where do we go? Out here on the bridge again? Okay, so I think it's that watchtower right there. So the Exarch likes to come up here a lot, does he?
The people of this city have spirit, I'll give them that. They've not lost the will to fight. I can imagine how torn you must feel, looking at that sky. Knowing what it means to everyone. And that you're responsible.
I still can't believe it's coming from me.
Neither can I, to be honest. But you heard what the Ascian said. The light you shine will warp the world around you, whether you like it or not. Even your Stoller and Reen had to consider. You're in a corner, and there doesn't seem to be any obvious way out. But that doesn't mean it's over. However hopeless it seems, you haven't lost yet. I remember looking up at the sky like this before. Being caught up in a strange kind of calm. It was after we realized we were responsible for the flood. When we resolved to journey to the source by taking our own lives. One last sacrifice. One last fight. One last failure. And then the Oracle appeared and, well, you know the rest. There were times in the years and decades that followed when I wondered if we might not have been better off just letting the rejoining happen. That we'd made one last mistake. But seeing that giant Talos stir to life cured me of any doubts I still had. Always we took the burden of fighting upon ourselves. That's what heroes do, isn't it? So we never had the chance to see anything like that. Our people coming together as one. To think that their hope still burns so bright. That they were still so eager to live, they would lift up their fellows, one on top of the other, till they reached the sky. No. We made the right decision. And I can finally feel proud of the part we played in helping this world survive. Well, come on then. As I thought, what happened between us was no coincidence. My story may be finished, but the fates have gifted me a minor role in yours. I suspected as much the moment I realized you could hear me. But it's hard not to doubt yourself when you're the man who caused the flood. I was afraid to do anything more than watch for fear of making things even worse. But no longer. After all, the path I once walked is now yours to finish. For what it's worth, I cast my lot with yours. If you need a push, I'll be right there behind you. If you lose control, I'll do my best to stop you. So, let us be about it, hero.
You were up here all alone, brooding and fretting and wallowing in your woes. But look at you, grinning at nothing like a pollen-drunk pixie. Look at what you've done to your ether. It's a mess. And you have cracks running all through that pretty soul of yours. My poor little sapling. Whatever am I to do with you? Shall I yield up my throne? You could claim it, cut ties with the mortal world, hide away in the castle. It won't fix the problem, but would it really matter? If any pesky heroes come calling with steel and magic, all of Il Meg will rise up in your defense. My crown and scepter are yours, if you want them. What? Don't give me that look. Of course I knew before I asked that you'd never, ever heed such a wicked suggestion. And besides, what would become of my precious and ephemeral flower? Dear beloved sapling, You are lost, confused, and have precious little time to gather your wits. Your kind is always so preoccupied with what lies ahead, and so we muddle your vision with fog and glamour. But such trickery is easy to see through. Stand very, very still. Think not of where you need to go, but where you are right now at this moment, at this time, in this place. Our cairn of crystal. From shadowed hood he watched you go, his ruby eyes with warmth aglow. See yourself as he saw you, and that shall be the clearest clue. You stand in his garden, dear sapling. Ask his flowers what they know, and you will surely find an answer. But what will you do with it, I wonder? I'll be watching and waiting. Waiting and watching.
Oh, that was such a touching scene from both Ardbert and Feo Ul. And that was so poetic, too. So this is the Exarch's garden. I suppose it might as well be with all that he's put into making it. But I still don't understand. I mean, how could Garatia be here? I just don't know. I don't get why this is happening, why it's here like this at all. Oh, I did not expect to see you on your feet so soon. Surely you have not come in search of an Amaro. No, I want you to tell me what you know about the Exarch. What do I know of the Crystal Exarch? I'm happy to share, but I fear there will be no surprising revelations. As any in the city could tell you, he is a man of wisdom and compassion and many untold secrets. But none can doubt his generosity. When the Crystarium was being constructed, he even allowed folk to plunder the tower for resources. He has imposed no restrictions upon us but one. No one except the Exarch is permitted to dwell within the spire. Many seasons past, a comrade of mine was bold enough to ask the reason why. The Exarch merely smiled and said, because one day the Crystal Tower may vanish as suddenly as it arrived. That's suspicious. So, Garatia came here with the tower. Not sure how he did that, but he somehow came here with the tower. But the tower's been here for 100 years already. And the tower is still clearly back where it is in our world, so... And he's still in the tower anyway. So none of that is making any sense right now. Yeah, I don't see how this is all tying together. I really don't. Let's go see if we can find somebody else here who might be able to give us a clue to what's going on. Where are the Scions, anyway? I mean, can we just ask someone where the Scions are and just see if we can get some answers from them? Especially from Urianger. I do think Urianger knows what's going on here. Hey, I know you. Claire, it's good to see you awake and alert, my friend. Yeah, I have some questions. What's this about? You're not writing the Exarch's memoirs, are you? I'm not sure how much I can tell you, considering we avoid asking too many questions. Unspoken rule and all that. If anyone has fresh insights to share, then it'd be Captain Lena, I'd say. She lost her parents to an eater attack not long after she was born, and the Exarch saw to her upbringing. Outward appearance aside, those two are like grandfather and granddaughter. I imagine the news of his predicament hit her doubly hard. Not that our proud captain would ever let it show. If you do decide to talk to Lena, she'll be at her usual point at the Ascensor's gate. Okay, that's a good place to start, but... it looks like the cabinet. Cabinet of Curiosity. Where's my closest aetheryte? Alright, so once we head out to the cabinets, we'll talk to who's ever inside it, get some answers there, and then we get to go out and talk with Lena. I can't believe I missed all this time. All the time, I did not realize that. Oh well, that's fine. We got there eventually. So, let us see. It's upstairs. We talking with Maureen again? Yep. Oh, was there something else you needed? If you come for the results of my research into this persistent light, I'm afraid there's little to tell as of yet. No, I wanted to ask something else. Records pertaining to the Exarch? Well, I need no documentation to relay what little I know of his history, if that is what interests you. Less than a decade had passed since the coming of the Flood when the Crystal Tower first flashed into existence. Its summoner, the Exarch himself, became known to the refugees in Lakeland soon thereafter. He welcomed all who sought out the Spire, be they locals who'd lost their homes or Verbites fleeing their ruined kingdom, and together did they found the city with which would become the Crystarium. Some thought to call him King, for he refused to share his name, but the summoner did not deem himself worthy of royal address. Thus did people consider his scintillating skin so alike to the tower he had summoned, and bestowed upon him the title of Crystal Exarch. As for his true name, well, it seems that is a mystery that remains unsolved to this day. Ah, but we know his real name. Okay, so it wasn't immediately after the Flood, it was about 10 years after the Flood happened that he arrived with the Crystal Tower, but that was still like 90 years ago, give or take. So he definitely is well over 100. So, when he first arrived here... Okay, so it was about 90 odd years ago that he arrived, and when we spoke to him earlier, he said that he made himself one with the Crystal Tower so that he could live indefinitely. So he turned himself to Crystal before he came here, and he's been waiting here ever since. Probably for us, but... I don't know! I really don't know anything else. It's just like, there are pieces here that I'm not able to put together yet. Hopefully, Lena will know something. Claire, I was not told you had awoken. A welcome surprise. Now if only the Exarch was returned to us. He was taken by this rival of yours, was he not? Your companions mentioned they had an idea of where to find him. And so I bristled when they asked for patience. I did not understand their hesitation. till I saw that you had fallen. Only then did I realize that I had no business rushing ahead. Even so, the delay has been no less agonizing. In the moments before he left to join you in Kalusha, the Exarch entrusted me with a key. It opens a door to the ocular, to a chamber known as the umbilicus. This room is the heart of the tower, into which only the Exarch himself is permitted to enter. Really? He bid me allow none into the tower once he had departed. Only in the event that an army of eaters descended upon the city was I to access the umbilicus and awaken the defensive barrier. Never before had he left me with such instructions, but the battle with Volfrey loomed near, and at the time I accepted the key without much thought. Since then, however, that moment is all but occupies my mind. When I recall the look upon his face, he knew that some terrible fate awaited him. Tell me, Claire, I need to know what he feared, what battle you and your companions are truly fighting. I don't know how to answer that. I want to, but I can't tell you. Forgive me. I trust in the Exarch, and I should not be voicing these doubts when he is not here to respond to them personally. But you have come to me with a question of your own, have you not? Ah, I see I am not the only one who burns for answers. The time has come to open the tower's heart. Though we do not face an invasion of eaters, I suspect the city will be far more danger if you do not gain the knowledge you seek. Thank you. Oh, man, this is getting intense. So, this key is going to give us the answers. I'm sure of that. So, the next quest is called the Unbroken Thread. So, this is definitely going to be where we get some answers. So, I think that this is a good time to call it quits for now, but I'll be seeing you again real soon. I promise that.